And so, when it comes to your calling, one of the things that you did not take into consideration is the emotional risk that you are taking. You think that by showing up and it's like, oh, I have this calling, this is my purpose, this is my mission, this is my ministry, this is my movement, you think that that was the emotional risk. No, 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 no. That was just the beginning of the emotional risk. The emotional risk is really what comes with it. What comes with it, especially nowadays, because of the fact more than likely you will be, I'm going to say, whether you are on social media or not, because hopefully by being an entrepreneur, it's a combination and you may do it in stages, and that's okay. But there is an emotional risk that you take when you say, hey, I want to do this thing, whatever that thing is for you, whatever your purpose is, whatever your calling is, whatever your, again, your movement, your ministry, your mission is, the emotional risk that you take is criticism, feedback, unwelcome advice from others, especially when it's negative. Because sometimes some individuals can say some things that you're like, whoa. I remember a few years ago, I was doing inspiration and motivational things for men. And also, I had it wasn't really a podcast per se, but I guess just a podcast like. And pretty much with that, I remember, oh, and I was offering something. I think I was offering something, and I put something out there and on Facebook, and y'all, oh my gosh, I did end up deleting it because I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like dealing with this whatsoever. But the thing is, that is some of the things that will happen, especially because it was something for Black men. And of course, oh my gosh, all of the other individuals who were non-Black came at you, girl. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. But my whole point is saying that those are some of the things it may be. It could be racism, it could be anything, but just know that you are built for this, and or however you're responding to it is an opportunity for growth, because there are certain things you just never experience. I mean, with those type of comments, it's like, as a Black person, as an African American, I know it exists, but I did not have to directly experience those things myself. I have not been in an environment, I want to say only once, definitely I would say I experienced it. But other than that, and that was in a professional arena with a client. But other than that, as of personally and things like that, behind closed doors, I don't know anything about it because no one told me, and I'm okay with that. But at the same time, I kind of prefer to know because I know who I'm dealing with as well. But my whole point in sharing that is that you're going to come across people, you're going to come across organizations, you're going to come across systems that may not want your product, that may not want to hear what you have to say. Like, for instance, I work in mental health. That's my primary thing. I am in wellness. I'm in mindset person. I'm all about empowering you to take care of yourself. And let's just say, like I talk a lot about, breathe, 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 breathe. There are going to be some people that go, no, Sharon, I tried that, and that's just not going to work. Now, to be honest, I truly feel that there is some breath work that is there for you. It's the repetition of it and all of that, but I'm not going to get that into that here. But my whole point is that people are not going to agree with everything just like you're not going to agree with everything. Some people are more vocal about it. Sometimes it may depend on how someone says it. But let me tell you, if you haven't already heard, if by you being an entrepreneur, whether you're in the beginning stage, in the middle, and even you've been out there for a while, because if you're really listening to the ones who've been out there for a while, they'll let you know what their shortcomings are when it comes to that. In that you are built for this because your calling is stronger than anything else. If anything, it lets you know, it's like, oh, this is why I'm doing this. So come on with the negative comments, because they let me know, it lets you know, lets me know, what are you fighting for? What are you out here for? Because just think about, I'm trying to think, well, let's think about Noah in the Bible. Of course, there are many other stories. It had not rained. I'm thinking, if I remember the story correctly, I don't think it rained at all. And he's talking about, hey, we need to build this ark because it's going to be raining for a while here. Nobody didn't see it. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're off on your own. But he stood by it. So whatever message that you have, you show up, you stand up so that you can deliver the message that you have for the people, because you have experienced something, you observed something, you had some type of enlightenment that feel like, especially for those of you who provide a service, and even if you provide a product, because sometimes with some of the products it's just as important so that people can have a fulfilled life. Especially like when it comes to skin products, someone could be experiencing something that you're the only person that can help them with that. So don't be letting, when it comes to the social media streets, allow individuals to take you down. Now, one thing I am going to say, because people may not know this about me, but I kind of call it hypersensitive. It just really means is that I really absorb, I'm going to say more so I absorb other people's energy more so than anything else, because I'd be like, gosh, why do you say that? You know what I'm saying? So I have to check myself, my own energy level. So sometimes what that means is like, if you are really emotional and really getting to you, honestly, you need more work. That's really the bottom line. I need more work in certain areas. The other thing that comes along with that is that with the emotional risk, because with you having a calling and being an entrepreneur, it is an emotional risk that you're taking. You're taking an emotional risk for feedback that you may not agree with, for a point of view that is different from yours. And then that gives you the opportunity, just by you saying, hey, I am going to stand up. I'm going to show up for my calling, for my purpose, that you build yourself up to have the emotional capacity. It doesn't just come just because you say, oh, I have this great idea. Oh, I had this experience that I really want to share. Oh, I want to teach. I want to educate. I want to empower. But to have the emotional capacity to stand up in the environment that you may be in, and then also to have the emotional capacity, because remember, I said that sometimes I may absorb other people's energy. So that means that I need to make sure I have the mindset and do some energy work so that I can offset any energy that's coming my way. And sometimes it's not even coming my way, to be honest. It just be out there and I just absorb it. I'm like, okay, what is this? This is not mine, you know? And then the other thing when it comes to the emotional risk is so that you build up a capacity more so to overcome the fortitude, to overcome adversity, challenges, because it's going to come up. By being an entrepreneur, by you having a calling and all of that, adversity is going to come up. It's part of the journey. It is part of the journey, which is one of the reasons that I talk about self-care, to supercharge your self-care. Supercharging your self-care, make sure you're getting your rest, make sure you setting the opportunity so that you are able to recover and to pretty much to reset your mind, your body, and your spirit, and all of those things, so that you can stand up, so that you can show up, so that you can have a stance of what you're standing on. And this is where Fortitude Free Circle can really help you. Fortitude Free is a circle in which I develop for entrepreneurs and executives so that you can sustain your sanity, because sometimes even just doing, I call it the back end work, the things that need to be done in order to get your message out there when it comes to marketing, when it comes to branding, when it comes to the other things that you're learning, so that you can be good on the business side. But just as much you want to be good on the business side, you got to be good on your inside. Because if you're not doing any work for yourself, within yourself, through yourself, just go ahead and close the door, hang up the shingle, because you're not going to last. It's really not. And it is a process in order to sustain your sanity. It's continuous work. It's part of just being human, even without the calling. And then along with the circle, you be around, I like to say, diverse, like-minded individuals, so that you can be challenged. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? So that you can be challenged. The main thing is so that you can build up discipline, embrace challenges, and thrive under pressure. Because all of that is important. All of that is important. And one thing that I discover, especially in being an entrepreneur and owning a business, in developing and all of that stuff that comes along with it, and being in mastermind classes and coaching environments and challenges and things like that, you need an environment in order to sustain yourself and to be, it's almost kind of like to be on repeat, and to have an environment to say, oh, well, did you do that? Gives you that nudge to take care of yourself so that you can be a point when it comes to your calling. Because there are going to be times you're going to be all hype, and then there are going to be times not so much. But it's so important for you to take care of yourself, because there's no need of doing all of this if you are not well. Because that means for everything, things happen. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about you taking care of yourself to be well, so that you have a fighting chance of continuing to be well and have a fighting chance if something was to happen. Because even if physically, heart attack, stroke, even cancer, if your mindset is on point, you're able to overcome anything. Again, I'm not getting into all of that. The main thing is so that you can be well. And there are going to be times, there are certain areas that I still need reminders of. So in saying that, it's almost kind of like, well, it's not a retreat, but those are things that will be offered in the future. But it's pretty much just being in community with other individuals to help you stay on top of your game. Because to be honest, there are some individuals that can be okay without it. But if you really look at, top-notch coaches and individuals who are doing good things, they have their own coach, or there's some environment to help them, along the way. And that's one thing that I discovered, by being a therapist. And that's why I feel like in being in circles is something that can help you. Because we don't want you to leave yourself behind. And that's what the Fortitude Free Circle is all about. The Fortitude Free Circle can help you with the emotional risk. Yeah, we offer inspiration and motivation, but we also remind you of, give you some tips of certain things that you can do. And I know sometimes you're like, oh, I don't have time to take 5. If you don't have time to take 5, don't do that. Don't do that to your body. Don't do that to your family. Don't do that to yourself. You deserve better. That's right. You deserve better. You deserve to be well. But it takes work. It's a part. Nobody told us this. Nobody told us the work that it takes mentally, psychologically, emotionally, all of that, and then the work that it takes spiritually, and then the work that it takes physically, the physical body of exercising, the physical body of when it comes to eating, and then everything that I just said, all of that adds it to our, mind, our body, and our spirit. It's all connected. And so it is worth the emotional risk for your calling, but it also requires you to take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, then it makes it harder on you and harder on your family and those who are close. And again, I am not talking about other things can happen. Oh, Sharon, there are some people who've, done everything and they got sick and yes, those things can happen. Yes, people, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you being well so that you can give yourself a fighting chance of doing that. And the majority of the time, when that happened, those are outliners, meaning the percentage is very low. They get highlighted, make it seem like it's a whole lot. Oh yeah, I know somebody who smoked. And I'm about to get off. Anyway, let me stay on topic. We can talk about that on another day, because over here we're talking about wellness. We're talking about the things that you can do to take care of yourself. And even as adults, as they say, a child, needs to be raised by a village. Adults need to be sustained in a village. And so in a circle, in communities, that is one of the ways. For those of you who are interested in joining the circle, comment circle or DM me so that you can come on in, so you won't feel like you're by yourself. And especially when you have those doubts and those emotional, when people are saying those things, because sometimes, we can, we're human and we can take things personal. And it takes work to not to take things personal. There's some things I'm like, oh, okay. And there's some things I'm like, ugh, that I take a little personal. Still a work in progress. We're all there. I mean, I'm not above everyone, But anyway, I really do enjoy everyone who has joined me for this live where we're talking about the emotional risk when you are pretty much pursuing living in your calling. It's not always easy, especially when it seems like others may be attacking you. And so for support, you can come into Fortitude Free Circle so that you can get the support and the guidance that can be beneficial for you. And so I will see you all next time.